at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
One of the most consistently confronting and at times embarrassing concepts that psychology forces us to consider is that of an inner child. All of us have along the years made such efforts to become adults, it can be at once grating and dispiriting to be told that there might nevertheless still be an inner child lodged somewhere within us. But in truth, we contain within ourselves a version of all the people that we have ever been. There is, in recessive form, somewhere in the folds of our natures, a confused teenager, a sad child, a jealous or hungry infant. No version of us ever entirely disappears. It's merely added to and buttressed, just like an oak tree that still contains in its rings the marks of all its former circumferences. Furthermore, if we follow the psychological thesis, some of our inner children are likely not to be especially well. They might be dealing with a hurt that they have no idea how to cope with. They might have suffered a loss without any chance to understand who and what is to blame. They might be lonely, distressed, or ashamed. Despite their pain, it isn't that the inner child's cries are in any danger of breaking through into the public realm, and that is precisely the problem. Inner children cause psychic distress not because they are too present, but because they are not present enough. They have been too effectively locked away. Their cries have been seamlessly forgotten and ignored. They've been pushed into a soundproof chamber from which no murmur emerges. And yet, still, they exist. We are dealing with unwanted, restless ghosts who have not been appeased or understood, but whose ongoing, ignored unhappiness threatens the course of our lives. The task ahead requires a perhaps even more grating and obtuse word: reparenting. The inner child needs to be identified, their distinctive troubles understood, and their pains soothed and becalmed. In a perfect world, it would be parents themselves who would carry out this work at the time that difficulties arose. But in the real world, some of the work gets left behind and lingers, which requires a bizarre-sounding maneuver to correct. We, the adults, need to become parents to the children we once were. We need to gather...
The voice of reason back in the building. If you thought I was going to let up in 2025, no, I just can't. I simply cannot do it. The voice of reason has another powerful topic on deck for you tonight. Reparenting. Is it your significant other's job to give you what your primary caregiver, i.e. parents, couldn't? See, you've heard me talk about this for the last couple of years now. When you don't address your unrequited wounds, whatever happened, whatever insecure attachment style you may have developed, right? If you don't address this stuff, they become co-authors of your expectations for your relationships, for your significant other. Right? So in a passive-aggressive way, you're asking your partner to finish your parents' work. Oh, my goodness. Where do we get insecure attachment styles? From the type of parenting we got as children. You've heard me yell it out. I'm not responsible for your unhealed wounds. I will not be babysitting or the butler to your unrequited wounds. And guess what comes out of that desire? Guess what comes out of that desire? You know. Make me safe. I need to be made safe by you. You have to create a safe space for me. No! Just as people are starting to understand with this new radical, spiritually, psychologically, holistically driven concept of reparenting, where one becomes the parent to their own inner child. The adult you takes on the parentage of your own inner child, right? No, we want our partners to be the parent of our inner child. I'm telling you, safety is an inside job. It's all an inside job. That's what Krishnamurti's work is about. Listen to it. Reparenting. Is it your significant other's job to give you what your primary caregiver, i.e. parents, couldn't? By entering and committing to someone, do you ultimately inherit their partner's or their parents' unfinished work regarding your unmet needs? 1-800-920-1580. Y'all call in and tell the truth this year. It's Happy True Year. Call in and tell me about the time. And listen, stay on topic. Call in and tell me about the times you expected your partner. You expected them to be the relational multivitamin for what was deficient in your parent. The myth of healing through love. Why your partner can't fix your childhood wounds. Oh, we want babysitters. We want wound babysitters. No, not this evening. No. We don't want that. We don't want a wound daycare in an intimate relationship. Come on now. Unpacking the toxic fantasy of emotional attunement in relationship. What do you mean? Excuse me. Emotional atonement. Your partner can atone for what your parents lacked. 1-800-920-1580. This is going to get deep. What if expecting your partner to heal your past guarantees relational failure? Emotional healing begins where dependency ends. Partners cannot play the role of parent without compromising mutual growth. Why Self-love feels impossible. The hidden war between your inner child and your inner critic. How unmet needs shape your toxic narratives about relationships. 1-800-920-1580. Get to the phone lines. It's transparency time. It's transparency time. Listen, in the book of Revelations, it talks about the end of the world, doesn't it? And it also talks about the end of the world, the known world at that time, in the New Testament. The New Testament, the world was destroyed by water. In the Old Testament, it is destroyed by fire. When fire hits anything, it strips everything down to its elemental element, to its foundational reality. The fire has stripped away some things now. Do you understand? The Hollywood sign on fire. That God is sending a message. Are you going to take heed to the message? See, this show is designed to strip you naked, butt naked. But you don't want to get naked. You still think that the mask is going to work moving forward. It will not. That's why I'm having these types of shows. Right? The power of the Black Panther will be stripped. We're going to strip it out of you. We got to do it now. Listen, does self-love actually feel unattainable because your inner child remains unconsoled? Your partner can't console your inner child. They can show you empathy, right? But you know, depending on how much empathy they've shown themselves, it might be performative. It might be cognitive empathy. Ooh, they don't have an endless reservoir of empathy to pour on. Man, self-reparenting resolves the war between self-judgment and self-compassion, breaking cycles of self-sabotage and despair. Attachment or addiction, how trauma bonds disguise themselves as true love, the disturbing reality of why we choose partners who mirror our abusers. Sometimes the first abuser we ever met was a parent who was not emotionally attuned to our needs. Everybody's talking about, I need somebody to meet my needs. No! Needs are met from within. Needs are reflected and magnified from without. I know you don't want to hear it put that way. I know psychologists are running around talking about, yes, we got to meet each other's needs. Mutual need meeting. No, it's mutual need babysitting. No more. Do we want to grow up? Do we really want to show up this year? This is how you heal. You hear me talk about, I said it a year and a half ago. We started talking about this concept. I said, hey, I don't like the word self-care. Care means wound. It means pain. That's what care means. What did I say? I said, no, let's change that word, care, to empathy. Self-empathy. You must empathize with your inner child. You must reparent yourself. Love you, the wounds that you are, the hurt that you are, the despondency that you are, the codependency that you must love on it. You must empathize with it. Do you understand? So your heart will open by embracing the pain. Oh, I know people don't want to hear it that way. I know you don't want to hear it that way. Tonight's topic is crazy. Oh, stop seeking closure. Stop seeking closure. Why healing happens when you parent yourself. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Radical accountability as the only cure for childhood betrayal. What are you being accountable for? We're not saying you're taking the blame for what happened to you, but to be accountable for the inner child that lives in your spirit, which keeps you spiritually immature, irrespective of your chronological age. Does the obsession with closure keep you tethered to your pain? By reparenting yourself, you might be able to discover the expectation that external validation will complete your healing process. No, you'll be able to dissolve that. Are you ready to dissolve it? The narcissistic nightmare. Why reparenting makes you immune to manipulation. Emotional sovereignty as the ultimate shield against toxic relationships. Most of us are not even close to emotional sovereignty. Your emotions are predicated on the actions and the gestures and the touch and the feeling of external sources. It started when you were a child, and you're still a child today. I know you don't want to hear it. Can reparenting yourself eliminate the appeal of narcissistic partners? Many of you are not honest enough to say, I'm attracted to the mess that is a narcissist. Hey, but guess what? You are, because guess what? That narcissist reminds you of somebody. You remember original sin? Huh? Let's talk about the original caregiver. 1-800-920-1580. I know y'all not ready for tonight's topic. Insights here. Self-reparenting breaks the cycle of dependency, rendering you impervious to relational exploitation. Your partner is not your therapist. Why reparenting yourself transforms relationships, breaking the cycle of emotional projection in intimate partnerships. How does the expectation of emotional repair from your partner sabotage intimacy? When I get back in here, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to keep my foot on the gas. Get to the phone lines, 1-800-920-1580.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
This new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online.
Uh-huh.
I read that 3 out of 4 adults in the United States have a high risk factor for severe COVID-19. And Black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, careers, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Cause I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to die cause I'm scared of hell. I'm scared to kiss, I'm scared to hug. I'm scared of sex cause I'm scared to touch. I'm scared to look cause I'm scared to see. I'm scared of you cause I'm scared of me. I'm scared to fly, I'm scared to crash. I'm scared to move on so I live in the past. I'm scared to fight cause I'm scared to bleed. I'm scared to love cause I'm scared he'll leave. I'm scared of drugs, I'm scared to drink. I'm scared to swim cause I'm scared to sink. I'm scared to learn cause I'm scared of truth. Don't wanna gain weight cause I'm scared of food. I'm scared to think that the label dropped me. I'm scared to think of my album flopping. This may sound silly but it's true. So don't pretend it ain't you too. We all afraid of something here. Cause you ain't human without fear.
In today's video, we're going to talk about what I believe is one of the most powerful methods for fundamental life change and real transformation, and that is inner child healing. And I think it could be incredibly valuable for just about everybody, even if you feel like, you know, I had a pretty good childhood, I don't really think things went that wrong. You might still have one of these inner child wounds that is running you behind the scenes that you don't even actually know exists. So today we're going to talk about what the inner child is, where it comes from, what it does, and how it interacts with us in our life, and most importantly, how we can heal in a way that has profound implications for our personal future and can be very transformative to the way we live our lives. So, what is inner child healing in the first place? Sometimes it's called inner child work. It is a form of what is sometimes called shadow work, which is essentially work on your subconscious mind. The subconscious is the part of the mind that does things that we don't have to think about, like knowing how to walk or talk or understand somebody who's speaking. When we don't have something ingrained into our subconscious, when we're learning a language, for example, it can be very challenging because we have to consciously think about what the meaning of each word is and try to interpret it and understand it, and that's very difficult. But once it becomes subconscious, it is automated. Your brain does the work for you without you having to think about it. That is the power of the subconscious mind. But what can happen is if we are not careful, we can ingrain patterns into our subconscious mind that then run on that autopilot and are operating in the background that no longer serve our best interests. Some of the things that sometimes hold us back in life can actually be these subconscious patterns that we believe are true, or we've integrated this behavior and these actions so deeply into ourselves that they are like walking or talking. They're automatic to the point where we don't think about them anymore, but they have a profound impact on how we interact with the world, how we see the world, and what we do on a daily basis. Because here's the thing, right? Our subconscious doesn't know if something is good or bad. It just gets a program and it runs it. It's essentially like a...
I could have let him cook. He was cooking. He was cooking. Tonight's topic is deep. Do we subconsciously want our partners to finish our parents' job? When our parents are emotionally attuned to us, to our needs as children, right? we learn independence. We learn self-reliance. But if there is a break in that emotional attunement at that very early age, you know, from infancy, some even say even in the womb, right? Up to about 9, they say first 7 years. Man, if there's inconsistency there, we may develop insecure attachment styles. Those insecure attachment styles then inform our relationship expectations. Ah, this is deep. At the core of human experience lies a paradox. The longing for external connection often masks an internal void created by unmet childhood needs. The process of self-reparenting demands that we confront this void, challenging the illusion that partners, relationships, or external forces can fulfill the emotional deficits left by our primary caregivers, i.e., our parents. This journey requires a radical departure from conventional narratives of dependency, urging individuals to reclaim sovereignty over their emotional landscapes. We will be drawing from the insights of you-know-who, Carl Jung, David Deida, Krishnamurti, Pema Chodron, and many others to elucidate the subtle nuances in this powerful topic about the act of reparenting. Do you understand? We're going to dismantle the notion that healing emerges through blame or external validation, instead emphasizing inner accountability and the integration of fragmented selves. Philosophers like Rumi and Khalil Gibran illuminate this path, portraying love not as possession or completion, but as a state of infinite inclusivity. When we come forward, the voice of reason, we're going to go to the phone lines. We're going to talk to all the folks. The fire has just begun.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Nearly 400,000 people in Southern California are facing evacuations as uncontained wildfires kill at least 5 and destroy thousands of structures. Officials warn the death toll may rise with further searches. Investigators are revealing the New Year's Day attacker in New Orleans built 2 bombs with RDX, a powerful explosive, but they failed to detonate. The attacker killed 14 and injured over 30 by driving a truck into a Bourbon Street crowd before being killed in a shootout that injured 2 officers. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who's facing federal corruption charges, delivered his State of the City address highlighting safety improvements, affordability efforts, and proposed tax cuts for low-income residents. And the state funeral for former President Carter concluded with speeches from President Biden, Carter's grandson, and Stephen Ford. Carter, who passed away at 100, will be buried in Plains, Georgia beside his wife. All 5 living presidents attended. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
To our beloved greater Los Angeles community affected by the devastating wildfires, we stand with you. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, our hearts go out to those who've lost loved ones, homes, businesses, belongings, and precious memories. In these challenging times, we're here to keep you informed and connected. For the latest updates, resources, and ways to help your neighbors in need, stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580. Together, we'll rebuild. Together, we'll recover. Together, we are Los Angeles strong. KBLA Talk 1580. Your voice, your community, your station. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at WalkGoodLA. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Allow me to show you something.
Somebody give me. Somebody tell me the answers. Me and you isn't the answer. Me and you isn't. Maybe I'm telling myself that, but there ain't nothing that'll change that. What good would it be if I knew how you felt about me? Yeah. It could have been right, but I was wrong. Only think about you and I'm alone. Part of me that cared is gone, and I know that I can't get caught up. We could have been, and we try to pretend every now and again. We don't dream about, don't think about what we could have been. No, I'm holding it in, 'cause I know in the end, you dream about, I think about what we could have been. We could have been. We could have.
So this is going to be a quick video overviewing the concept of reparenting. What is reparenting? Reparenting is the fact that each of us now in adulthood are really responsible for teaching ourselves and meeting all of the needs that many of us did not get met one way or another in childhood. So those of you listening, even if you didn't have the big glaring bad thing that happened to you in childhood, chances are you were not fully given all of the tools to succeed really in many areas of life. So now as an adult, it's our job to teach ourselves, to essentially raise ourselves. So I was recently asked actually in a podcast if I thought that every human essentially needed to reparent, and my answer was an overwhelming yes. So what are the big areas that we want to take a look at that possibly we need to teach ourselves some skills in? So the 4 big areas are discipline. So a lot of us were not taught simple habits, rituals, healthy habits, rituals in childhood. So those of you who follow me or work with me know I'm always talking about habit development and ritual development. Promises to self. What does that mean? So as now an adult, and we try to change things up, we try to develop that healthy, early morning wake up or meditation practice, chances are something called, I call at least, mental resistance is going to come up. All of the thoughts telling us all of the reasons why not to do it. It can be really overwhelming to change. So I've developed a concept that I call promises to self. Essentially what that means is setting one small promise each day and making the choice to do it despite what your mind says. That is how we cultivate what I think is discipline. So 2, self-care. What does self-care mean? Really, all of these are tools aimed at keeping your body in physical balance. Sleep, incredibly important. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. It is really healing and necessary really for brain functioning and emotional wellness. Nutrition, nutrient-dense foods, really gonna help your body maintain a balance. Movement, physical activity, any kind, not 5 hours at the gym, a walk, small things, light stretching, any way that you're just moving your body. Our bodies are meant to move. Nature, connection with nature. I think this is incredibly important. It is really the energy of nature can be so healing. Sit at a park, like I said, sit on your stoop, anything that just gets.
Reparenting, fancy word for tapping in with yourself. Self-observant, self-aware, self-attuned, right? This reparenting, right? Being an adult to your inner child. This is heavy stuff. Reparenting, a psychological and spiritual approach to healing childhood wounds, invites individuals to revisit unmet needs from their formative years. This process demands rigorous self-awareness, self-compassion, and the reformation of beliefs shaped by early attachment dynamics. Yet, the question persists. Should individuals rely on their romantic partners, their significant others, their boyfriend, their man, their husband, their wife, whatever, to be this kind of supplement for what they didn't get in childhood? Tonight's exploration of this dilemma delves into the interplay between attachment theory, trauma recovery, and relational autonomy. Right? Drawing from profound insights from all of your favorite thinkers and clinicians. We're going to get deep, deep, deep. We got callers on the line from all over the country. Let's get this national discussion going. Nzinga, Pensacola, Florida, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, good evening, Bill.
Hey.
I just want to say to everybody in California, I guess the nation, our hearts are postured towards you. We were just sending a lot of love to y'all right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So is it a lover's job to give you what the primary caregiver cannot? I'm going to say yes and no. Okay?
Come on.
Hear me out. Hear me out. I don't think it's a lover's job to pick up the primary caregiver slack, and by any means. I do believe, though, if a lover is down for you and truly concerned about your well-being, it may be their job to provide a space for you to work through your childhood wounds. I kind of wanted to reframe the healing through love. I think it's possible to be healed with love. And for me, I think that's where the safety piece comes in. Because when I hear safety in a relationship, I kind of always look at it as like a come as you are. Like on the Statue of Liberty when we were younger, we had to memorize, give me your poor huddled masses. It's kind of, like that. You come as you are, and I stand behind you or beside you while you do the hard part. I can't do it for you, but just know that I'm always here, because I think when you're working through those wounds, it can get a little ugly. Depending, if you're going through therapy or, you're doing it yourself, it can get a little ugly, because especially you mentioned that inner critic. A lot of times you're battling an inner critic, but the critique is not even yours.
Keep going.
So you're battling these things.
Whose is it? If it's not yours, whose is it?
Well, from what I've been I've read a little bit, and I've seen, a lot of times the inner critic are the people, your primary caregivers, the people who modeled you. It could be teachers. It could be, anybody who kind of, I think at a time when you couldn't stand up for yourself. So in my opinion, I think a lot of times the back and forth in the war is learning how to stand up for yourself. And sometimes I know in me standing up for myself, it was an imbalance, because sometimes I was getting smart with people and stuff because I wasn't used to doing it. And so I'm not going to lie, I had to explain to those who were really close to me, like, look, this is what I'm going through. And sometimes it may come across, because I'm learning. I had to explain to them that, I was a people pleaser and different things like that, a really bad people pleaser. But, I had to explain to them that, sometimes I may come across wrong, or I may take things overboard, or I may interpret things wrong, and just if they can forgive me. And, my peoples, they love me. And so sometimes, they had to be like, girl, watch it. And then sometimes it was just like, okay, I understand. And I think that's what happens when you are dealing with the inner critic. But reparenting, I think, it does dissolve the need for anything external, because as you begin to do, I'll just say this and end it, but as you begin to reparent, you begin to trust your spirit fully. And it doesn't really, I don't think it really has anything to do with your lover, because once you begin to trust your spirit fully, you kind of move past needing external validation and confirmation, but it takes time. And somebody who, in that safety, there's patience, because it's just not, this doesn't happen overnight, because it didn't take time. It took time for you to be broken down. And so you got to, put on that cast, and you got to, build yourself back up, and those things take time. So
I love it. Guess what you just did?
I brought Pensacola in the building.
Pensacola is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me. 1-800-920-1580. The voice of reason is on complete fire. When we come forward, we go on to Los Angeles and Mountain View, Hawaii. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More voice of reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
That was another way. I would smoke once an hour. That didn't work either. All that would happen at some point of the day, I would end up doubling up. Other ways that I tried to quit was I stopped buying cigarettes totally. But if I took 3 puffs off of 15 friends, those didn't count because they weren't my cigarettes and they weren't full cigarettes. I went through a lot.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey guys, I'm Heidi Priebe. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This month on this channel, we are talking about self-esteem. And today in particular, I want to talk about the role that structure and discipline plays when it comes to inner child or reparenting work. Now, if you don't know what the term inner child means, I do have a video linked in the description of this one that goes over what that term means, but essentially, I'm going to encourage us to just think of our inner children as the part of ourselves that exists beneath all the layers of social conditioning that just reacts in a very pure, instant, and emotional way to everything that is happening inside of our lives. And essentially the idea is that the more layers of attachment wounding or trauma or whatever it is we have on top of those basic, authentic emotional reactions, the less in touch with our inner children we're going to be. Now, when I see people approaching inner child work, whether this is workshops that talk about reparenting or blogs, whatever the resource is, what I see getting really heavily focused on is the role of getting in touch with joy, spontaneity, and playfulness. And well, all of those qualities are absolutely wonderful qualities to access inside of ourselves. I think that we aren't always going about it in the most direct way. When you look at children, and when you look at which children are the happiest and the least distressed, it's often the children whose parents are holding a healthy amount of structure for them. So parents who know their child well enough to understand what kind of structure and discipline that child needs in order to feel as though they can kind of let go a little bit and just enjoy their lives and be creative and grow and learn things. And the children who you see struggling the most are often children whose needs are being the most neglected. So children whose needs for safety, security, and structure are not being met in their home environment. Or children whose...
Yes, I agree partially, but I think she should integrate emotional attunement. Yes, structure is good, but structure with emotional attunement, right? It has to be both, right? You can't just single out structure or discipline as the way. It has to be structure with emotional attunement, awareness, attentiveness, and compassion, right? And encouragement, right? It just can't be, here's the structure. Because many people will listen to the way she framed it and potentially take it out of context. I'm sure she meant that's a part of reparenting, which is discipline, right? However, you have to state it. You have to state, yes, with emotional attunement, right? I'm present with you. We're doing this together. I'm showing you, because once you really figure this out on your own, you're going to be amazing at it. So let's do it together. You understand? I didn't mean to call you out, Heidi. I love your work. Heidi Preeb, she be cooking. But right there, she, just ran a little bit faster than she should have. Slow down a little bit. These are big chunks. We need to make them a little bit more palatable to everyone's taste. Now, let me get these callers up in here, because we on fire tonight, man. Let me do it right now. Brandon from Los Angeles, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, appreciate you. Great conversation. Great topic to go into. I've been doing a lot of work in this area personally.
Mm-hmm.
I created a philosophy for myself in the process, and I called it Protect the Baby. After I realized that whatever my inner child was feeling insecure or hurt by when it came to partnerships or family members or anybody I was interacting with, if I expressed it with the hurt that I was feeling in the moment, the first person that had to feel that pain was my inner child, which forced me to then be really careful about what I'm thinking about I'm being hurt by or what I'm feeling, and then turn it around and make it about myself, because we're attracting and we're magnetizing people who are just showing us where we are right now in this moment in life and how we feel about ourselves, and patterns that have been sticking on that, it's like a treasure chest for us to just look at, to put the pieces together about ourselves and not about the other person. So once I started to turn the mirror around on me, it gave me an opportunity to really not be responsible or have any else be responsible for what I'm feeling, because it's not a problem. It's just a signal of the universe giving me an opportunity to elevate or learn about a part of myself that hasn't been loved, that I get to love, because me being dependent on whatever I'm dependent on in the other person is really my inner child telling me that he's dependent on me to give me that, because I never gave that to myself.
Wow. Let me ask you, when you flipped the mirror around, what you saw, did it frighten you? Were you afraid? Was it something you wanted to recoil from, or was it an image you wanted to lean into? Talk to me about the process of turning the mirror around and addressing what you saw in the reflection of it.
It starts off ugly, but it also led me to see that it didn't just start with me, but it started with my parents and their parents, And in order to heal myself, then I had to forgive why they didn't know it and how they passed it down, and also forgive and give empathy to how they even got it themselves.
Mm-hmm. Whips, works in
And-
progress, right? Your parents are a work in progress. They did the best with what they had. They did the best with what they knew at the time. Yes.
Right. And me being a future of my mom and a future of my dad, I'm bringing information back to them to remind them of who they are, because I'm the manifestation of them. So I get to unravel or unleash things that are great in them as well as myself, because we never got to talk about it or we never got to shed light on it. But I also learned too with the forgiveness thing, not being dependent on them to say I'm sorry for that, because they might not even know how to. And I realized the more, if I don't get what I want and I hold resentment, the only person that's gonna feel it is me.
Come on.
So,
yes. Yes.
So I have no choice but to forgive, because I'm gonna make myself sick, and just seeing myself get sick off of waiting on other people to get it right or realize my value or say the things that I need to hear. I'm learning now that I don't have to wait on that anymore, because I can just say it to myself. I can give myself that feeling and feel secure about it. I can be a little disappointed at people who I thought would.
Brandon, can you take it farther? Instead of just saying it to yourself, what else can you do?
Invoke it.
Embody it. Be
Yeah.
it. Yes. Come on,
Yeah.
Brandon. When Los Angeles show up, man, sometimes you got to pop out and show them, man. Come on. Hey, Brandon, guess what you just did, man?
I just brought LA in.
Come on, you just brought Los Angeles in the building. Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580 when we come forward. Hour number 2, let's get it.
Feelings, tell them you love them, man, don't mean it. You'll probably say that it was juvenile, but I think that I deserve to smile.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Nearly 400,000 people in Southern California are facing evacuations as uncontained wildfires killed at least 5